His leg wound still hadn't healed, but the man forced himself through the pain and dug the cigar out. He stared at it for a few seconds, then without hesitation, stuffed it into his mouth and swallowed it. This was the first bite of food he'd had in the 7 days since being stranded in the snow-covered mountains. Even though he was eating something off his own body, compared to those thinking about eating their companions' bodies, he could still be considered humane. 7 days earlier, a flight from Uruguay to Chile, carrying 40 passengers and 5 crew members, crashed into a mountain while crossing the Andes Mountains. The massive impact ripped the plane clean in half. The rear section was completely destroyed on impact, while the front section slid forward several hundred meters before finally coming to a stop on the mountainside. Fortunately, the snow on the mountain was extremely thick, providing enough cushioning for the crash landing. Everyone in the front section survived, with only a few suffering injuries of varying degrees. But unfortunately, this is the longest mountain range in the world, stretching across 7 or 8 countries, and the second highest mountain range after the Himalayas, with peaks reaching up to 6,962 meters, which meant for rescue teams to find them was like finding a needle in a haystack. 2 boys who weren't seriously injured climbed out of the wreckage and rushed to the cockpit to look for the pilot, but unfortunately, the pilot was barely holding on, and the radio was already damaged. Night fell in an instant, and the temperature dropped by more than 30 degrees. All the survivors squeezed into the cabin and made it through their first night. By the next morning, 2 severely injured members had already frozen to death. The rest stepped outside, and for the first time, clearly saw the environment they were in. Surrounded by mountains on all sides, it was like a basin, and trying to walk out was basically impossible. But they were all college rugby players. Their physical condition became the only thing keeping them going. After settling the injured, those who could move started removing seats from the plane so they could huddle together for warmth at night. Then they gathered all the bodies and placed them in one spot and divided up what little food they had left. Right at that moment, a plane flew overhead. They shouted at the top of their lungs, but the aircraft didn't notice them at all. Soon night fell again. The snowy mountains looked beautiful, but the young people inside the wreckage were shivering.